Hello, welcome to Mary's Menagerie. 3 videos ago I showed you my Goodwill hauls, and today we are going to transform 2 of those items. The first one is going to be the little sign with the letter S. Transform a Goodwill sign using decoupage and resin molds. The first thing I needed to do was to cover up the letter S, so I painted the inlay of this sign white. Here I am using Waverly's Cottage White chalk paint. I purchased some tissue paper from Hobby Lobby, and I put the design where I wanted it to show up on the board, and I cut out the paper to make it a little bit easier to work with. Here I am finding exactly how I want it to be on there. Creasing the paper so I have lines to cut it out so it's going to fit as perfectly as I can. I'm using my Mod Podge. I peel back one of the sides and I put some Mod Podge down on the white painted part of the frame. Then I lift up the other edge and I finish putting the Mod Podge down and using my fingers to kind of smooth it out. I put some plastic down and I used my little roller to get as many of the wrinkles out as I can. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to paint the top part over the tissue paper, and I will have decoupaged the tissue paper onto the wood. Now it's time to use my amazing cast-in resin. It comes with 2 bottles, side A and side B. You mix them together and in 10 minutes it'll be nice and hard. And it comes with 2 stirring sticks. It comes with 3 measuring cups, and I purchased 2 silicone measuring cups that have little spouts on them, so hopefully it'll be a less mess. Here is the mold that I purchased, this Iron Orchid Designs. I purchased them in a little craft mall because I went to the website and you can't order them online. So this is my first time to try it. It actually shows you how much resin to put in each little mold so you know how much to mix together. You put equal parts into the measuring cups. And then you mix them together and you stir it up really good, and you only have a certain amount of time in order to get it to poured in there. So I poured it into the different molds that I wanted to try, and when it's done it'll turn white. You'll know it's probably almost finished when it turns white. And here you can see the resin is turning white. I let the resin sit for about 10 minutes. I was feeling the bottom of it because you can actually feel the warmth. And then I just peeled my little molds out and they're super detailed molds. And the one that I'm really wanting to use is this big one right here. This is the one I'm going to use on my project. The directions said to paint them as soon as you bring them out of the mold, because that way the paint will stick better. So I wasn't sure what color I wanted to use yet, so I just went ahead and painted them white. That way when I decided that it would be easily painted over with whatever color I wanted to use. And this is an example of what the detail looks like. I ended up using my Waverly Maze paint. Here I'm going to use some DIY wax. I went and got this when I bought the mold. I needed some black wax. All I had was the antique brown. So I'm putting this wax on there. And then I took a baby wipe and I'm wiping off the excess wax. After it dried, I am now going to add my little medallion to my decoupage sign. I picked the mold that I picked for this one because the paper was so detailed. I picked the plainest, the most plain rosette I could find. I'm putting my E6000 on there, and then I'm going to add some hot glue so it has faster stick, and then the E6000 should be make it a little bit even more secure. And here is the final result. The second project I'm going to work on today is this little family plate that I got from Goodwill. Transformation of a pressed wood tray using a textured inlay. Okay, I'm going to start with my Waverly chalk paint. The color is Cottage White to cover up the old finish. Now I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint, color Maze. My next step is to take my Waverly antique wax and cover the whole plate. Next, I took a paper towel and I wiped off all the excess wax. After I was done wiping off the wax, I wasn't really happy with how it looked, so I put on another coat, and I kind of ignored the middle part this time because I knew I was going to be covering up the middle part. I purchased this wall tile at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I am going to cut it where you see those where the line goes around. Next, I'm going to paint my tile with this folk art chalk paint. After that dries, I'm going to use my Waverly wax antique color, just like I did on the yellow part. Again, I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe off the excess wax. I took my little sanding block and sanded the back and the front. I took a paper towel and dusted off the dust, and then I sanded the edges and the little tile. I'm putting some Elmer school glue on the back of the tile so I can attach it to the middle of the plate. I'm using bottles of paint to hold the tile in place while it dries. After the glue dried, I'm adding the final coat of the antique wax with a baby wipe. That way it'll get a little bit of a smoother finish. And here is the final result. Here we have both projects together. You notice the difference between the black wax that I used on the first project and the antique wax I used on the second. Thank you for watching Mary's Menagerie. Look for more transformations in future videos.